Hi everyone, it's Laura from Mind Over Muscle with your movement tip. Today is all about foot rolling. And for those of you who have worked with me before, you know that you likely learned this within the first one or two training sessions that we did together. I teach foot rollouts for almost everyone that I work with because the feet are your foundation. And if we can have impact at your feet, it can impact all the way up the body. So, foot rollouts are great for anything from tight feet, plantar fasciitis, all the way up to headaches and neck issues, and anywhere in between. These foot rollouts are so powerful, and I'm really excited to share them with you. What you'll need here, I generally use a yoga tune-up therapy ball. They come in sets. You do not have to use this though, but it's a squishy ball. It's pretty dense, pretty squishy. I've also taught it with tennis balls before, as well as racket balls. And I even we've discovered at our house that this is a wool dryer ball. So this is a bigger ball, a little less dense, but these also can feel really good. So this is just to say, if you have a ball-shaped object that has some give and squish to it, that's a great option for rolling. I generally don't recommend golf balls or a lot of times lacrosse balls are, some people will use those, but they're really, really hard and dense. And if we're not careful, we can actually cause tissue damage. So the softer, squishier ball has been proven to have good results and not cause damage. So I'm going to go through a sequence of foot rolling for you and use whatever you'd like. The least intense ball is going to be less firmness, so the least firm and the biggest. And you could also, like I have this, you could put two tennis balls in a sock and replicate this. So this would distribute the pressure more. So the more you can distribute the pressure, the less pressure on one spot there is. So I'm gonna go, and then the smaller the ball, the firmer the ball, the more intense it is. You can do this seated in a chair. This isn't, I don't, if you're really, really tender, like this isn't a lot of downward pressure. It's just the weight of my lower leg onto the ball, and you can kind of roll out the bottom of the foot. I'll get up here in a moment. And you can also do this seated in a chair. That'll give you less pressure than standing. I'm going to do it standing, and I'm going to show you a few different options. So I've got my ball here, and this first one I'm going to go side to side underneath the ball of my foot. Just side to side. So that's like a first spot you can start. Then you can go to the arch, side to side, under that arch. This is what it would, under the ball of the foot, from the side to the other side, and then under the arch of the foot. And then you can also do under the heel as well, side to side. Notice that I'm doing these pretty slow. If we go really fast, you can try the really fast at any spot or along the foot. Your foot doesn't actually end up relaxing that much when we go fast. So feel it fast, feel how it feels to go fast on any of these, and then try it really slow. And notice as you go slow that the tissues can actually relax over the ball. I'll often call the rollouts, I'll sometimes refer to them as melts, because it's this idea of like, oh, here's a tight spot. I'm not kidding. There's a tight spot right here. Can I pause here and get my foot to relax and melt over the ball? And you can do that on any spot. If you find a tight spot on your foot and you can put a little weight into it, you can try and get your foot to relax. When I first started these, my toes would always be up and kind of tense. And as I've gotten more mobility and flexibility, I'm not squeezing my toes here, they're just relaxed over the ball. So you might not find that your toes go over the ball like this and in just a relaxed position. You might find that your toes stay out, and that's just
because most of us have a lot of tension in the bottom of the foot. But eventually, as you go nice and slow, rolling out different parts, you can even go along the length of the foot. Again, I really like across the ball of the foot, across the arch, maybe the front of the arch, and then the back of the arch toward the heel. As I've done all these, I've kept my heel on the ground, and then I lift my heel up and keep the ball of my foot on the ground when I do the heel roll out.
So that's your intro to rolling out the feet. There's really no wrong way to do it. You're gonna do what feels good for your body. But the main things to remember here are adjust your pressure to what you're comfortable with. This shouldn't feel like, oh my God, if you have really tender feet, you might need to sit down on a chair and use the dryer ball, the wool dryer ball that has a lot of give to it so that your feet can get used to having pressure. Most of us wear shoes a lot that have stiff soles, so our feet aren't used to having any pressure that's pinpointed up on them from beneath. So this takes a little time, but the payoff is huge. I just rolled out primarily my left foot, and I would love for you to try rolling out the left foot and then the right foot, and in between notice the difference up at the neck. And that's why this can be so impactful for headaches and neck and shoulder issues as well, because everything is connected. And I got a lot more range here going this way than I do this way because I rolled out mostly my left side. But it's just, like I said, really powerful stuff, super simple. It doesn't have to be, a lot of times the simple stuff is the most effective. It's just going slow and finding the right position, the right ball to get the amount of pressure that your foot can handle.